November 5th, 2016, here's something that I had written up, and it's called The 5 Laws of Hot Jupiters. Now, this is a preliminary idea. I just wanted to throw it out there. I don't know if anything's going to stick, you throw a bunch of shit on the wall and you see what sticks, so this is one of those things. But my reasoning for each law and the law itself, I'll go ahead and read out to you. The 5 laws of hot Jupiter. The first law is hot Jupiters are intermediate age stars and are much older than stars that have strong visible spectrums. With another principle I have here, I have hot Jupiters, or at least brown dwarfs, being at least 263, around that time frame, million years old. So if you see any type of mainstream article where they say it's a young brown dwarf, only 1 million or 2 million years old or 500,000 years old, you'll be able to instantly tell that, they're selling you a line of bullshit. It takes a lot of time to form something like a Jupiter-sized object. It just doesn't form in 1 million years. That's ridiculous. It's a blink of an eye, celestially speaking. Second law. Hot Jupiters are not related to their host star by any sort of singular formation construct, such as a protoplanetary disk and any of its variants which strive to force them to be related by formation processes. I had to write that in there because, in the theory I'm developing as well, a protoplanetary disk, or any type of disk, or circumstellar disk, or debris disk, is an independent structure from the actual star itself. And as well, it's a collisional type thing. It was formed from either gravity ripping something apart or from a collision event. It's not something that forms objects because, obviously they have no mechanism to take away the angular momentum to collapse the disk. So the second law has to do with the very principles of why the nebula hypothesis is nonsense and does not work. The third law. Hot Jupiters do not form in situ, I think that's how you say it. It means in the place it's found, or even in orbit around their current hosts. They were adopted by their hosts from another part of the galaxy, or another galaxy entirely. Another part of the galaxy doesn't mean 50,000 light years away. It can mean from right next door, or from a star that had it orbiting it previously and it just passed in the vicinity, and then there were some three-body dynamics going on there, which allowed for the angular momentum transfer for it to transfer hosts, which is why, hot Jupiters can be found very, very close to their hosts. Fourth law, hot Jupiters have their thick atmospheres ripped away by their hosts, exposing more and more of their interiors. Now, the rate at which these things have their atmospheres ripped away is considerably faster than if the hot Jupiter or Jupiter-sized object was much further away, such as Neptune or our current Jupiter. These hot Jupiters, they orbit inside of the orbit of Mercury, I believe, and they orbit their stars between 3 hours to 5 or 6 days, like a week. That's incredible. They did not expect to find these, and they outright falsify their models where they form in situ. So that's a huge problem for them as well. I went ahead and put that in the law. The fifth law, hot Jupiters can migrate towards or away from their hosts to speed up or slow down, respectively, the evolutionary timeline after they have been captured. That was the last law, which, the fourth law led into. Now, these aren't set in stone. I put law there. Who gives a shit? It's just a word I used. I could have put principle again, but I use principles for a lot of other ideas. I just put law there. Law is a nice short word, and it could be written quite quickly on a laptop. As well, these are up to change, or maybe you can take these and condense them and then add others. I don't know. You go crazy with it. I don't care. If anybody has any suggestions to correct these or to make them more encompassing, go ahead and let me know. I'm up to new ideas. I've learned that the people who are okay with new ideas tend to not exist inside of the establishment. It's going to come from people outside of those dogmatic organizations. That means people that aren't connected to them, and they don't have their paychecks relying on them always going with what's being taught in school. There's people that aren't afraid to step outside of their comfort zone as well. People who are not afraid of new ideas can help me out with these laws. This video is going to be kind of short. I just wanted to read that out to you to really get people into the mindset of these objects in our solar system. They're not related to each other. This is the worldview change. The Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter. These objects are not related to each other by any means. The fact that they orbit each other is just a random thing. They exchange orbits over many hundreds of millions of years with other star systems as those stars cool and die and become what astronomers call planets. So to really look at them as not being a part of a solar system, in essence they are of the same origin, but to look at them as a solar system in light of they're all different. They all have vastly different ages, and they're all in different stages of their own evolution. So that's the main worldview change that I would like to help people out with. Alright, well, I think that sums up this talk. Yeah, today's November 5th. I think I already went over that. And if anybody wants to write any papers and put them on Vixra to help out with this, by all means, do not hesitate. If you want to use a pseudonym, or you don't want to put your email address, that's fine. Just make sure you get it written down, and where people can see the idea, and maybe they can work off of that idea and develop an understanding even better than I can by myself. And I think that's the whole purpose of these videos and the Vixra papers. Alright everybody, take it easy.